So, you know that glow that some women have, the one that makes them look totally effortless. I woke up like this, even when they're not even wearing a stitch of makeup. Like, that's what I'm talking about. The effortless radiance that makes you kind of wonder, like, what is that woman's secret? And here's the spoiler alert. It's not necessarily her skincare, even though I love skincare and we talk about it all the time. And it's not going to necessarily be expensive products, right? That glow, it starts from the inside. And so today, that's what we're going to be talking about and getting to. Your face, it's a billboard of your mind. And I love saying that to people because it tells a story. And so, whether you realize it or not, and the people around you that are observing you, they're reading that book and that story, whether they even mean to or not, right? Like, you don't even have to say a word, and it is saying something. So, think about the last time that you saw someone who was truly glowing, not just because of good makeup or great lighting, but because they were beaming from within. And maybe their eyes were just so bright, their smile so effortless, like their energy was contagious. And what did you immediately think when you saw them? You went, wow, like she looks so happy. Like, did she just get engaged? Did she just get a raise? Like, what is her secret? What just happened? Their glow, it makes you curious and it pulls you in, and it's made for connection. And that's the power of what your face is telling people. And in this case, it was telling a joyful story. Now I want you to think about the opposite. So you see a woman with tired and heavy eyes. She looks drained. Her shoulders are rounded in. Her mouth might be tight. Her brow might be furrowed. And you probably don't even realize or even have to ask how she's even doing, because her face is telling you that story. It's telling you everything you need to know. And so what is your first instinct when you see someone like that? Because you care, you give her space. Okay. Maybe you even like hesitate before even asking her how she's doing because you don't want to overwhelm her or hurt her feelings. And so here's the thing. Your face, it doesn't just reflect how you feel, it's actually shapes how people interact with you. A joyful person, their open face is inviting people for connection and to come in and talk to them. And then a tense, stressed face, it creates distance because they care, but you don't know that if you're having a hard day and you're thinking, wow, like, are they offended with me? And then it adds to your hard day. And so the best and the worst part of all of this, your brain is memorizing your most repeated emotions, and it etches them right into your face over time. You've probably heard that face, like your face will freeze that way. And of course, our moms, when they told us that when we were little, was trying to kind of say, like, swipe that negative look. Let's go ahead and look cheerful, right? Well, there's actually some truth to that saying. Our emotions, they don't just come and go, they leave imprints. Your cell holds on to them, your memory holds on to them, and your face will hold on to them the older you get, or the drier and dehydrated you are, even more so. And you've probably thought about someone who has spent years of laughing and smiling, and they often have these like beautiful crinkle lines around their eyes and their lifted cheekbones. They look really like they have this great structure, and they stay that way for the rest of their life. And it's like their joy has been permanently carved into their face. I love telling people our faces are the scrapbooks of our lives. And so, on the other hand, though, someone who has spent years of being stressed or grieved or worrying, they frown. Maybe they develop these deep forehead creases or these downturned marionette lines, or that tension, it makes their face look just tight. Um, Even when they're not even actively stressed in the moment. And that used to be my story. And the irony of it all is most of us want to move away from those stressful moments, or or those terrible traumatic memories, but our faces, they don't forget. And so that season of high stress that maybe you had 5 years ago, it may still have left a mark on your skin in the form of a wrinkle or the tension in your jaw, or TMJ even, or even the dark circles that are under your eyes and disrupted sleep. Okay. But before you panic, I want to tell you that there is good news. And just like stress and negativity can be stored in your face, so can joy, peace, and relaxation. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you today how to start rewriting that story of yours so that you can have that type of etching in your skin and your face. Stress, it isn't just about how you feel. It physically will change your appearance. It will physically change your hormonal system and your sleep patterns and all the kinds of things. So you don't just look tired, you look different, completely different. Here's some common stress markers on your face. So, like your forehead, that could possibly be showing signs of constant worry. You get those deep forehead lines. And then even when you're resting or you wake up in the morning, they may still be present. Okay. Your eyes, it could be showing stress and exhaustion. So they might show up as like dark circles, puffiness, dullness, and we'll get into why it does that later. And then jaw and your mouth. You hold emotions there, because a lot of the expressions happen there. And so you get a tight jaw, you might have marionette lines, that downturned mouth is very common to see. And then, of course, in your posture, that mental fatigue can sit heavy on your shoulders. Think about it. It's your head. It's holding the weight of your thoughts. Okay. And so often it might show up as slouching, making your face look even more drawn down and tired. Okay. And here's the crazy thing about all of it. Stress doesn't just cause these facial changes in the moment. It actually speeds up the aging process over time. And so it's actually called the cortisol effect. And so when we're constantly in that fight and flight mode, our bodies, it's flooded with this hormone called cortisol, the stress hormone. But when you're living in it in a constant state, it's not really good in your daily life. It's often working against us. But again, when you're in a stressful moment, it's actually helping you respond more quickly to danger. Okay. So it's not completely negative. We need it. God knew what he was doing when he was designing our bodies. But when we're living in that constant cortisol effect, it's breaking down the collagen and elastin in our skin. And so that is speeding up that aging process. And it increases inflammation. So that's where we're going to see that puffiness, the redness in our skin, maybe some breakouts even, and then it will slow down your circulation. So that's where you'll get that dull, dry looking skin. The dark circles can show up that way, and you just get that overall tired look. So when you go through a season of chronic stress and you're not managing it well, you're literally speeding up that process and embedding these emotions in your face and in your skin. And so your body, it takes on that tension, that worry, the exhaustion, is trying to balance out and spread out that tension instead of holding it all right here in your brain. So I want you to drop a comment if you've ever gone through a stressful time in your life, and then you look back at those photos and you go, man, wow, I aged a lot during that season. I look so tired. Well, that was cortisol at work. So your face, it's telling a story. So let's go ahead and start making a story on your face that you love. And here's a question for you. Like, how do we rewrite that story? How do we stop storing tension and start radiating that peace and that joy that we're looking for? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Okay. But here's what I want you to know. Your face, it can heal. Your skin, it can heal. Your body, it can heal. It was designed to. So just like stress can age you faster, that peace, that rest, that relaxation over time is going to restore your glow. So when it starts with learning how to release that tension, and that's been sitting over time in your muscles, in your cells, in your skin, probably for years. Have you ever woken up and felt like you looked older overnight, even though you may have got 7 to 9 hours of sleep, right? You didn't suddenly just age 5 years overnight. Your body is just showing up and showing you the signs of that stress. And it does often happen overnight, and there's a reason for it. So when those emotions are memorized over time in your skin and your face and in your cells, there's another piece of this puzzle where stress actually speeds up the aging. And then you're slowing down circulation. So that's going to cause less blood flow to your skin, less nutrients naturally being produced by your body. And that's why skincare needs to change in your older years. And so when you don't have the hydration, the nutrition, and the circulation pumping to the surface of the skin, um, you're going to have less glow. You're going to have dryness and maybe even flakiness. And then again, your skin will start thinning because it's not getting what it needs. Okay. So your digestive system, it also slows down when cortisol effect is taking place. So you may begin to experience your body trying to eliminate these wastes and toxins in other ways because inflammation is backed up and unbalanced microbiome. So, like you might see eczema that you never had before, or psoriasis, or acne, and other skin conditions. Um, and your lymphatic system, when the circulation's slowing down and the cortisol is kind of holding tension. So when it's holding tension, the blood flow can't come through because you're restricting the vessels, but it also it's the same is true for your lymphatic system. So that's slowing down. And I'm way oversimplifying here, but because we're talking about the skin, I'm not going to get into totally what happens in the body, but your skin and your face, things don't go well when we have cut off and restricted the blood flow and the lymphatic flow. And then we don't learn how to relax. And we live in a society where everything is go, 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 get it done, get it done. And so, that our adrenal fatigue even can play into this, which causes thyroid problems and other hormonal problems. So when cortisol takes over, just know it's kind of like this domino effect. But I do want to get back on track. So let's make sure we get back on track. Let's think about when we were teenagers. Okay. Most teenagers, they have this smooth, relaxed face, right? Not just because of their age, but because they haven't yet had decades of cortisol pumping in their bodies, wearing down their skin. They also don't have the weight of responsibilities on their shoulders, so they're not as worrisome. They do have worries, don't get me wrong, but like it's just not at to the level of when you're an adult. So they're not overthinking as much. So that tension that we have accumulated over time and gotten backlogged on, they're not experiencing that yet. And so that tension that's causing our muscles to tighten, they and the collagen and elastin to break down, they haven't yet gotten there. And so when we want that more youthful look, we usually reach for a serum or a treatment or a pill for supplements. But what if one of the most anti-aging techniques and things that we can do is to relax? In our midlife journey, that's one thing we haven't yet learned how to do typically because we've been going and taking care of multiple people in our lives. And then we don't know how to take care of ourselves, which relaxation is part of it. So this isn't something about the beauty industry is typically talking about much. And that's why I want to talk about it here because they want to sell you the next serum, the next skincare and miracle product. But I can tell you from working with women one on one over the years, like when we focus on reducing that tension and that stress in our bodies and in our faces, the results last so much longer than how long a little bottle can last. Okay. Now that bottle is going to help. I love my skincare and it really does make a big difference. So I want to say that before I confuse anyone, but that's why stress and emotional management is one of the 7 pillars to beautiful skin that I have created for my coaching program. So have you ever noticed like someone who looks instantly more beautiful and youthful when they've just come back on vacation? Like, and you may have experienced this for yourself, but they didn't go out and get a facelift. Maybe they had a spa treatment, but what's happened is they had relaxation. But if you've ever woken up and you've thought like, why do I look so puffy and tired even though you got enough sleep? A big part of that is your lymphatic system. It's like a highway that's supposed to keep things flowing and moving and detoxing your body. But stress, what it ends up happening when you have stress and tension, it's like it builds up like this traffic jam on that highway. And the more the stress we have, the worse that traffic jam and the backup ends up happening. So this is why stress doesn't just make you feel heavy. It actually makes your face, it'll make it look puffy, stagnant, dry, way down. And here's something most people don't even realize is your face, it doesn't have its own built-in pump like your heart does for blood, or your ankles when you're pumping your ankles do for your lymphatic system for your body. Okay. So that means the only way to keep that highway moving and the movement and all of that is through often like breath work and massage. And so if you spend all day totally stressed, sitting at a desk, breathing shallowly, you're holding that tension in your jaw and in your body and your shoulders and your neck. You're literally blocking your body from being able to lymphatically flow and drain out those toxins and the excess fluid. Okay, so that's why when you go to bed at night, after you've been holding all of that, you might wake up more puffy in the morning because your body's trying to release it, but you don't have a pump to do so. And so I ask you, like, have you ever gone through like a stressful week and noticed your face looked fuller, plumpier, but just puffy, right? Like more inflamed, more red, more even broken out. It wasn't random. Your lymphatic system, what it's trying to tell you, it's got a red flag and it's going, I am struggling to keep up with all that you have going on. That cortisol is at work. Okay. So, how do we fix this? How do we get that lymphatic highway system moving again? And it's really, really simple. One way to do that is to breathe deeply. Oxygen, it increases that circulation in your face and gets that glow back and going. You release the jaw and neck tension. That tension, it's blocking those drainage pathways. Right here is a very common area to flow out that lymphatic system in your neck. And then facial massage. That stimulates that lymphatic flow because you don't have that pump in your face, right? It's going to depuff things almost instantly. Like if you take a before photo and then you take an after photo, you will be able to see the difference right away. Even just when you're sitting, lifting up your chin slightly and rolling your shoulders back slightly, letting them relax, breathing deeply, it can start to unclog and get things moving, get that traffic jam going, right? The more you open your posture and relax your posture, the better your circulation and your lymphatic system can do what it's intended to do. So I don't want to just talk about this. I want you to experience it. And so I did create a quick couple of minutes face massage and breathing tutorial video that will help instantly like release that stress, depuff your face, bring back your glow. And guess what? It totally feels amazing. I just did it. I love how it makes me feel. So you'll find that in today's free workbook when you go to the Making Life Beautiful Again Facebook group. So just go in, download the workbook for this episode, and then it will link you right to that video where you can do that instantly. But this is a game changer, guys, to be able to do that lymphatic face massage. I love doing it every morning when I first wake up. You will feel that difference, and it will reduce things like tension headaches if you have any. It even helps if you have TMJ because of tension. It will help release a little bit of that. So make sure you take a before and after photo when you do it. But this week, I want you to pay attention to how your face feels. Are you clenching your jaw? Are you holding tension? Feeling stagnant? Do you feel like your skin is dull? Look in the mirror, right? Let's go ahead and clear that out. Like, because your glow, it's in there. It's there. It's so easy to pull to the surface. It's waiting for you to do the work. Okay. Now that we've talked about physically releasing that stress, let's go just a little bit deeper, because beauty, it isn't just about how you feel. It's about how you show up. Okay. You could have had the best skincare regimen in the world, but if your posture and your presence don't match, you'll still feel invisible. to the rest of the world. And that's why confidence changes everything. So remember, we talked about connection. Let's just say we've reduced the tension, but now we're going to talk about how that posture comes into play. And so I want you to think about a woman that you admire. Someone that just has that presence that you love and adore, and it's like magnetic. She walks into a room, you feel her energy, you feel her joy, before she even speaks. What is it about her? What makes her magnetic? Is it her hair? Is it her makeup? Probably not. It's the way she owns her space. And I say that very intentionally and specifically, like it's how she owns her space. It's the way she moves, it's the way she carries herself, the way she believes she belongs wherever she is. Okay. So today, we're talking about that mind beauty connection. It's all here. And let me just tell you something, you can have that too if you don't yet have it. And when you see that woman, she may not even have model features in her face and body. She may be petite, she may be tall, she may be plus size, she may not be, somehow that she still carries that magnetic presence about her. That's what I'm actually talking about, because I don't want you to wait until you've lost weight or you've got the skincare regimen or you've got a new outfit. I don't want you to wait till then to do what I'm about to talk about. There's something about that type of person that carries that space full of confidence that draws people in. And they carry that confidence. It's owning their glow. You can have this. That's the good news. Like, this is something that's so easy to learn. Okay. And I'm just going to give you a couple of practical ways to do it. But those people, they take up space. Okay. What does that mean? They don't shrink. They don't slouch. They don't try to disappear. And I know a couple episodes ago, I talked about how I lived like that because I am this tall, big, bold person, and I was trying to hide away so that I didn't stand out, right? So this type of person, they're shrinking and making themselves smaller. Well, not the confident person. That confident person, they take up space, okay? And we'll talk about what that looks like in a minute, but they make eye contact. Okay, they engage with the world instead of hiding from it. Okay, I still sometimes hide. So like you can tell, like when I'm in the presence of someone that I want to hide, because I will find myself like looking down but talking to them a little bit, eye contact and time, no, make that eye contact. Okay, you are confident. What you have to say is important and you know it, right? And then the confident person, they speak with certainty. They aren't afraid to own what they know or who they are. Okay. It's unapologetic. You're just going to go there and be yourself because that's who you are. And so I want you to think about a time where you felt your best. Okay. Maybe you had a fresh haircut or a great new outfit. Uh, you were just in a good mood, right? Didn't people treat you differently? Like, didn't you notice how they responded to that energy and who you are? That's what we're going for. And now think about a time where you felt insecure, you felt tired, you felt drained, overwhelmed, self-conscious, right? Did you try to avoid contact? And then did you end up feeling invisible to the people around you because they could sense that there was something going wrong? So they were trying again to love you and be kind. So they were creating distance for you, right? The way we show up in the world is how they will interact with us. Okay. So, what if the biggest anti aging glow up you can do that you can give yourself isn't just a skincare routine? It's something you can do today. And that is the decision to show up as yourself, just completely different and confident. Okay. So, what does this look like? It looks like your posture and your body language. Those matter. So, one of the quickest ways that you can look and feel more confident in your life is to adjust that posture. Okay. So, I want you to think about it. When you're like this, and if you're nervous and you're insecure and you're not sure about it, like your body, it closes in. It closes off to the world. There's no room for connection. Okay. You're folding your arms, maybe you're hunched forward. You try to disappear. But when you're confident, You stand tall. Your shoulders are back. You move like you belong. It's fluid. There's nothing closing you off because you are relaxed and ready to go. Okay. And then another way, right now, wherever you are, I want you to try this with me. I want you to shift how you're sitting or standing. Spread your feet apart. Take up more space. Remember, I want you to straighten your spine. I want you to roll your shoulders back, but keep them relaxed. I want you to slightly lift your chin. And now I want you to turn up the corners of your mouth, even if it's slightly and you don't exactly feel it just yet, just a little bit, right? Just a little smirk. This is called a power pose, and you'll see it in the movies everywhere. When the female or the male in the movie shifts from being the weak person to the strong person, all of a sudden you see everything open up. They make that eye contact. Their facial expressions take on a different form, and it is really, really fascinating. When we take up that space, we're lifting our heads, our focus is shifted away from the trouble, and it's just full of hope and confidence. And when we're in that place, even if we don't believe it yet, it's easier to grow into our skin, grow into our shoes. We grow into our mindset, right? We're just growing. And what do growth things that are growing do? They take up more space as they grow. Just period. Okay. So what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for that mental mindset shift. So instead of hiding your power and giving it away and shrinking down to fit someone else's expectations or even your old expectations, what we're going to do is we're going to grow. We're going to spread our wings. We're going to fly. We're going to soar. We're going to rise up. We're going to take that authority and our confidence, and we are going to start glowing. So on days when I have felt weak and tired or unimportant in my past, like I have to remind myself to just stop, because we all have days where we feel this way. And so I stop, I take a deep breath in, and then I try to take that power pose, just so that my physical body can remember if I can't do it here just yet. But very quickly, you'll find yourself just kind of shifting when you take that physical power pose. All of a sudden, your brain starts aligning with it. And then I will try to speak truth over myself, over whatever it is that I'm feeling insecure, tired, or overwhelmed about that day. Right. And so, like, when I'm not feeling strong or bold or connected, it's like I have to look at myself in the mirror and just say things like, you carry something. People need what you learn and and God has equipped me to be able to show up in this moment to do whatever it is I'm overwhelmed with. So sometimes if I can't think of those exact words, I go back to scripture and I just say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that's from Philippians 4:13. And so what scripture or phrase do you need to speak over yourself in those moments when the doubt is creeping in? And it's really good to have a couple of those trigger phrases written down, because sometimes in those moments our brains don't want to go there, right? So having it written down ahead of time really helps. But confidence is not about just being loud and extroverted, because this girl right here, she is an introverted girl. But it's about being present. It's about deciding that you are worthy of showing up as your full self. And there will be people out there who won't love that full self, and it's okay. And then there'll be people who totally love who you are, just the way you are. But I want you to try this today, right? Make eye contact with people as you're speaking, even if it's uncomfortable. Just go ahead and do it. Just see how that person responds to you. Do they make better connection with you? You might not even be talking, but you're making that eye contact, and all of a sudden that connection starts sparking and taking place. Okay. Um, and I want you to stop self-correcting or apologizing. So say what you mean, don't apologize for it. Okay. Women, we often do this where they'll just go, oh, sorry. And it's not even something they did, but they're sorry for the other person's response and how they feel about it. So they just want to say they're sorry to hopefully clear the air. And that isn't something that you need to do, right? And then when it comes to fashion, I want you to try to wear something now that makes you feel good. Stop waiting to lose weight. Stop waiting like for that day, that someday. Today is the day. Right? To dress with confidence. Okay. And if you need help with that, contact me. I actually have coaching that is designed to help you strategize the things that you love, but also will make you look good. And so if you don't know what it is that you would help you with that, no matter where you're at in your stage of life with your body confidence, we can get there. But what's one small shift that you can make this week that's going to help you step into that confidence more? That thing that's going to help you hold that space more, right? I want, like so many of us, have been taught to see beauty as something to fix, right? We focus on what's wrong. Like, what's wrong with my eye? How can I fix that? Like, I have to wear foundation because I have to fix this. Well, guess what? You don't have to wear foundation. I don't wear foundation. You don't have to hide anything. So I want to challenge you, like, instead of fixing your skin or your face or whatever, like, what can you celebrate when you put on your makeup? So one thing I do, I love my eyes. So when I put on my makeup, I'm doing it to highlight the things that I want to show off and enjoy, right? Like, that's how I want you to think about makeup if you wear it. I only wear makeup once or twice a week, but when I wear it, I'm enjoying it because it's there to celebrate with me what I love about my own skin. I don't wear makeup for anybody else but me when I do it, okay? Um, and so here's another thing I want you to try, like, start reframing some of those thoughts, right? Because today was the beauty mind connection, okay? So here's what we can do about the mind aspect of it. So instead of saying things like I need to lose weight, that's an expectation that the world and maybe you or something was ingrained in you as a child. And so I want you to reframe it and say things like, man, I love feeling strong in this body. This body has been good to me, right? And of course, I want you to be healthy. So if being healthy means losing weight, we're going to help you get there. But it doesn't have to be about how you feel about yourself. Okay, I want you to love the woman in the mirror right now where you're at today. And instead of saying, I look tired, you can say things like, you know what? I've done a lot and I deserve rest. I give myself permission to rest right now. Right? Take a 15-minute break, go take a nap even, like go to bed early, watch a movie, whatever it is that you need to rest, give yourself permission without guilt. Okay? You've done the work. Now it's time to rest. The Bible has this set up, right? You've got your 6 days of work and your 1 day of rest. And so there is time meant for you for rest. It's there on purpose. And so I want you to take it. Okay. And instead of things like, I wish I looked younger, we all want to. And in aging, it's not something you have a choice about. Each minute you're aging, but you don't have to look your age. And that's what I love teaching people. But I want you to love your age. I want you to love your stage right now, where you're at. So what can you say instead of, I wish I looked younger? You could say things like, man, I lived a great life. I love the life I've lived. I appreciate that I'm still alive today. Like, I have such wisdom to carry on for others. Okay. And that wisdom, it shows up in this beautiful face. There's so many great things to reframe. And so if you need help with that, book a session with me. We can start some reframing activities if that's what you want. But confidence, here's the cool thing about confidence. It's like highlighter. So you don't have to put highlighter on your face because confidence will do it for you. It makes you shine. And the best part, you don't have to buy it in that makeup aisle. You don't have to spend money on this. You can create it right inside of here and inside of here, inside of your mind. It's how you think about yourself. It's how you treat yourself. Okay, that's what confidence is all about. It is the highlighter. So I want you to drop a comment if you want to own your own glow this week. Let's not outsource it to anybody anymore, right? Like, we don't have to outsource that confidence. We don't have to wait till someone feels good about us. Like, we get to own that confidence ourselves. And so this week, I want you to pick one of these ideas that I gave you for stepping into your confidence. Whether it's adjusting your posture, speaking with certainty, holding that space, wearing something that you feel really great in, or you go and download the workbook and click the link and do the stress reducing and lymphatic moving massage and breathing exercise, whatever it is, I want you to do one thing. Like, because your glow, it's not something you have to find. It's already there. So you just have to decide to own it and step into it. Like it's already there and it's not even hiding. It's really close by. But the most beautiful, radiant women out there, they aren't the ones out there chasing perfection. You want me to say that again? The most radiant and beautiful women out there, they aren't the ones out there chasing perfection. They're the ones who are fully alive, fully present, like fully themselves. And guess what? That's totally you. You get to have that today. Okay. You are already equipped with everything you need to show up as that woman of God who He created you to be. You just need to go ahead and step into it. That all can start today. And your glow, it starts from the inside. It starts from your thoughts, and the stress levels and confidence. They're all a part of your beauty routine. And so that's why I don't just talk about skincare or just about fixed exercises. I have 7 pillars to beautiful skin, and your stress and emotional and thought life is one of those pillars. So we look at this holistic mind, body, spirit approach to your beauty routine. And we will continue this series and talk, about this over the coming weeks. But grab that workbook in the Facebook group, and I want you to find that face massage tutorial inside that I had so much fun making for you because I created it just for you so that you can start releasing the stress, the toxins, the lymphatic, and step into that glow. But if you want help creating your beauty plan off of my 7 pillars of beautiful skin, I am extending that $27 session offer for 30 minutes. Just go ahead and send me an email at michelle@michelledayrose.com to grab your spot. Let's map out that beauty, that confidence, and that mindset game plan. And next week, we're going to be continuing that series and talking about the body beauty connection, how to nourish your skin through what you're eating and your exercise, and how to get that energy back so that that glow again is coming from the inside out, and it's contagious. People can't help but see that energy and that glow. But if you think skincare just starts in a bottle, you're in for a surprise. And I can't wait to see you Wednesday at 1:30 Central Standard Time, because your glow, it's not something you have to go find. It's something you step into. It this week, just breathe deep, stand tall, take up your space, because that beauty, it's yours. And I can't wait to hear how it all goes. I'll see you next week.